A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will...
When he said it in his inauguration speech, it seemed fairly inconsequential. Some people thought it was funny. But then, of course, he went and did it. Executive Order 14172, restoring names that honour American greatness. And a few weeks later, on his way to the Super Bowl, he signed a proclamation declaring February 9 Gulf of America Day. Really, it was all just posturing from President Donald Trump, making America great again through name changes. It didn't need to become a thing.
The White House demanded that the AP follow the name change. When it did not, an AP reporter was barred from an Oval Office event. The AP protested the Oval Office ban, saying it impedes the public's access to independent news and violates a provision of the Constitution.
And that provision would be the First Amendment, the right to free speech. Only the White House doesn't see it as free speech.
If we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable.
Lies. Not an international media group sticking with a globally recognized name. Lies. With consequences. Whatever media you consume, whichever angle or agenda, that should worry you. That the US government openly expects the media to comply with the president's demands. That's not democratic. That's authoritarian.
And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And I'm not sure why news outlets don't want to call it that, but that is what it is. The Secretary of Interior has made that the official designation in the Geographical Identification Name Server, and Apple has recognized that, Google has recognized that, pretty much every other outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America, and it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also for the rest of the world.
The rest of the world? Well, let's see how, for example, Google is recognizing it. If you're using Google Maps from anywhere that's not the US or Mexico, then you'll actually get both names, an international compromise. But watch when I put myself into the United States via a VPN. It's now magically the Gulf of America. And, unsurprisingly, when changed to a Mexican VPN, it's back to the Gulf of Mexico. As ever, it is all about perspective. Actually, there's a similar disagreement on the other side of the world, in the Persian Gulf. At least that's probably how you heard it described during the war there in the early 90s. But switch on a VPN in an Arab country, like the UAE, and it's now the Arabian Gulf. To get around this, some organizations and media simply opt for a non-specific, the Gulf, which of course pleases everyone and no one at the same time. Now, this also raises the question of who does make these decisions. When it's within a country's borders, yes, the government can issue name changes. Trump also changed back the name of North America's highest mountain, Denali, to Mount McKinley, and actually the AP complied with that. Bodies of water, though, are not as clear because they don't always belong to countries. The closest thing we have to an official naming body is the International Hydrographic Organization, of which the US and Mexico are both members, as it happens, and its purely nautical-based decision is to call it Gulf of Mexico. What Trump's done, though, is political, and he's perfectly within his rights to do it. He just can't demand that other countries and organizations comply, because, for now at least, the United States of America is still a democracy.
The Balance. Journalism without agenda.